Hey, what's up? Welcome back for part two. Part two of the video I did yesterday labeled new air gun or new air gun review or whatever I named it. Yesterday I uploaded a video for a new air rifle, which is the one sitting here. This is the Weihrauch HW97KT thumbhole stock, which is synthetic or plastic. I don't know why they call it synthetic. It's plastic. I also said that I'd be fitting the scope and everything to it, and I've done that, and it's all sighted in. Well, so the scope was already sighted in. I just threw it on this rifle. It's shooting a little to the right. I haven't adjusted anything yet. I don't know, at my whole 8-yard range down here, it's shooting maybe 1/4 of an inch to the right, but still shooting center. Gotta go over a few more points. So far, I've put about 50 shots through it. Surprisingly enough, I put the JSB PDG line destroyer pellets, which are a 26 grain pellet, and they are heavy in 22, like really heavy. And the only gun that I have that would shoot those pellets was my Crossman 2240 that I converted to a 2250 XL. This gun. This is not done yet. It's almost done. I'm waiting for a scope mount for it. I put the shroud on, custom bolt handle, everything you need, the 2250 tube and 4-stock and paracord cheek rest and everything. It's pretty much the same length as that gun, maybe about an inch shorter. I never noticed. Yeah, this is black and stainless. One's not stainless, just the bluing's been removed and polished. That would have been cool. Oh well. I'll be doing a review of this gun once I get it finished. It's been under construction for about 2 years now. Some of these things take time. That custom bolt handle was made by a buddy of mine. Did a great job on it. But anyway, back to the HW here. All the videos I've seen on this gun, they all complain about the safety on this gun. Or you cock it, if you take it off safe and you want to reset it back to safe, you can't do it. Yes, you can. All you got to do is recock it. Cock it all the way. Make sure you snap it right at the end when you're cocking it, and the safety goes right back to the safe position. That was the first thing I checked last night before I started shooting it, and I made sure I could take the safety off and reset the safety. Not that I ever throw it on safe and then have to put it back on very often anyway. But it's the feature's there. You just gotta manually cock it, but you don't have to compress the spring again because it's already compressed. And this is a spring piston, not a nitro piston or a gas ram or anything. It's nitro, or spring rather. And it's really not that loud. It's like most spring piston guns, but there's no twang or buzz that I find from this rifle. Like my Browning leverage here, another under lever. When you fire it, it goes poing. I've got to do a tune on this one as well. This is a nice rifle as well, but it's heavier than that one. The only problem with this gun is the trigger. It surprises you when it goes off. There's no take up to a hard stop. It's spongy all the way through the cycle, and you don't know when it's going to break. Yeah, so I'm going to do a decibel test because I'm kind of curious as to how loud it is, because it's not really that loud to my ears. I'm hoping it's under 96 decibels. That way I can I won't have any problem shooting it upstairs into the backyard. Not like my neighbors would hear it anyway. They'd probably just hear the pellet hitting the can, and that wouldn't be very loud anyway. But getting back to... Where is it here? The PDG pellets. This thing shoots the PDG 26 grain destroyer pellets like they were made for it. I do a hard target test when I'm testing these guns, which I shoot into a 1/4 inch thick steel tube that was meant for for holding arrows on the ground. It's heavy. When I worked at Pine Ridge Archery years ago, but that's what it was made for. It was meant for holding arrows when you're standing in the range, because we had a range there, and that's what I shoot into now. It's about a 1 foot long steel tube. It's all 1/4 inch thick with a 1/4 inch thick steel square base on it. That's the pellet that I fired. Hopefully you can be able to see that. Focus it here. It completely flowered right out. I measured it with the chrono, or my caliper set, and it came out to 0.633, so 63 caliber, and that's pretty good for my 22. So that pellet might be an option too. It's more like a bullet though. It's got a cone shape. It's a conical style pellet, straight sides on it. But I was surprised because that 2250 is the only gun I can fire those pellets out of. My Benjamin Trail and my Leverage, my Zisco. Is that all the 22s? I think that's all the 22s I have, yeah. And this one. I can't fire those pellets out of any of these guns. Like the last time I tried to fire that pellet out of my Benjamin Trail, the pellet didn't even leave the barrel. It was just too tight. Too heavy. This gun has no problem feeding it. You can push it right into the breech, no problem, and it fires perfectly. Yeah, I'm going to do a decibel test and then probably a shooting test. But I wanted to show you right what it looks like with the scope on it. The scope's not bad. I think I made a mistake when I bought this mount though. I should have bought a mount that was a high mount. That's a medium mount. Because that bell is almost maybe 1/8 of an inch above the receiver here. But the scope cap is just slightly touching the top of it there. And if I got a higher mount base, it would be easier to see down through the scope. I got to crouch down to look through the scope. So that might be an option later. I might go with a higher mount on it. You live and you learn. That's the first one-piece scope base I've ever bought. So, and I'm used to medium height mounts because I like the scope right there on top of the tube. It's like that with my centerfire and rimfire rifles too. That's where I like the scope. So I'll get set up here and I'll do the decibel test first, and we'll see how loud she is. Oh, and after I fired it last night, I had to tighten all 4 screws. I should have done that before I even fired it, but I fired it. I think I took 5 shots out of it, and I tightened all the screws, probably about a 1/4 turn each. And the one stock screw, the big stock screw here at the back, it was, I think, almost a full turn and a half. So it was loose. So I tightened that all up, and after I did about 25-30 shots last night, I went back and checked the screws, and they were loose again. So I've got to get Loctite for these screws. Even though there's not much recoil with this rifle, there's, like I said, there's not much spring buzz, but it's, I don't know. It's knocking those screws loose. And it almost looks like that screw's backed out a little bit. It might be. I'll check it after. Anyway, I'm going to get set up and do the decibel test. Back in a minute. Yeah, quickly back. Yeah, all the screws are loose again. I just turned them maybe 1/8 of an inch. Every one of them. Plus, I fired this earlier this afternoon too. I was, like I said, I was trying those destroyer pellets, and I was trying. I also tried the what the hell are they called? The Stoger X Hunt pellets. The 15.74 grain H&N Spitzkugel pellets is what they are. They're just rebranded for Stoger. But yeah, I'll be back in a minute. Okay, hopefully you can see that. It looks kind of blurry. But I noticed when I do I think that's what I gotta do. There we go. This is about 2 feet away from the muzzle when I do this. And I don't know if I'm getting accurate readings being that close to the barrel. But I'm going to see what the loudest shot is. I'll do a series of 3 shots. I'll see what the loudest decibel reading is. And then I'm going to move it down towards, onto my dryer that I got sitting here. That's got to go to the garbage. So that's about 8 feet away from the muzzle then. And I'll see if the decibels change. Because all the decibel parts and airgun videos that I see, the decibel readers aren't close to them. They move them outward, like 5-6 feet away from the muzzle. So I'll do that now, and I'm going to reset it because I want to get an accurate reading. Okay, 57.2. And I'm going to take 3 shots. Using Crossman Premier hollow points. Because these are the pellets I'm using to break the gun in, so I might as well use them. Make sure everything's still recording here. And what I'm recording on, if you guys notice the video quality, this is my new Samsung S8 that I got in August. Much better video quality. And it's got 4K video capabilities, and the audio I don't need my microphone for. Okay, let's see if... Cocking the gun. See, quiet. Loading the first pellet. I'm not going to check the decibels. I'll check it after the 3rd shot. One thing I really like about this gun is there's no... It's got an anti-bear trap in it, but there's no release lever in it. Safety's off. Automatic safety. First shot. Okay, I checked. That was 97.4. Which was, like I said in the video yesterday, they said it was between 96 and 97 decibels. And the first shot always seems to be the loudest. Shot 2. Maybe not. That was 98. I don't know how definitive these tests are when it's only 2 feet away from the muzzle. Okay, we'll do shot 3 now. Safety off. That keeps going up. That's interesting. So now I'll pause the video and I'll go down another 6 feet from here and see what happens then. I'm back in a minute. Okay, here we are 6 feet further from the muzzle. We'll do another series of 3 shots. Cocking the rifle. Fidgeting and loading the pellet. Safety off. Shot 1. Well, gee, would you look at that? It never moved. Shot 2. Safety off. And shot 3. Safety off. Alright, well there you go. That just proved my point. Now I'll reset it and I'll take one more shot, or maybe I'll take another series of 3 shots and see what the loudest is here. Safety off, shot 1. Well, being 94.7, it's backyard friendly. Say anything above 96 or 97 is not backyard friendly. Like I said, it's not loud. It's not loud to my ears. I chronographed, or not chronographed, I decibel tested my my nitro venom dust there a week or 2 ago, and it was 106 decibels. Okay, shot 2. Shot 3. Okay, well, the highest decibel reading was 94.7. That's impressive. I don't know what it sounds like on the camera, but it's the audible is it's quiet to me. It's not loud at all. I'm gonna do a comparison with the Browning leverage. I'm gonna take one shot of the Browning leverage and see if it's louder at that range. safety off. No, that's cool. It's not. It would be back. I don't know if you heard the buzz of the twang from this thing, but all I heard was bang, ding. If I could get the trigger worked on, or work the trigger on this, so it comes up against a hard stop and let you know when it's going to fire, that would be a beautiful rifle to hunt with. That Browning leverage. Okay, well, that's 94.7 decibels. That's great. That's really good. So now I'm going to do maybe a 5, maybe a 10, I don't know, accuracy test here, and to show you, just like every other gun, this is only 8 yards, so you're really not getting any real accuracy out of any gun that you shoot at less than 10 yards. It's pretty much the pellet hasn't even had a chance to rise or drop or anything. It's just coming out the barrel and hitting the target, basically. Well, it's rising a little bit, but not very much. But we'll do that next. Back in a second. There she is, my Tim Hortons can with a piece of cardboard that's used for separating Chinese food and UPS shipping labels as the white paper. I got rolls of them, and that's what I use them for. Okay, so we'll do a couple shots here now. Turn my decibel meter off. Yep, Crossman 14.3, or 14.6 I should say, because that's basically what they all weigh out to. Premier hollow points. Got one. Shot two. Shot three. Shot four. I'm wrestling this gun, by the way. Shot five. Oh, I pulled that one. That's okay. If I hadn't have pulled that one, it's basically a 2 pellet hole group that I put 4 shots through. But like I said, it's only 8 yards, so. Maybe I'll show you a hard target test here as well. This is my hard target I was talking about earlier. Let me zoom out here. It's a steel tube with a steel square base on it. And I got a piece of cardboard here, and then I got the shipping label over top of it. I'll put a piece of new label over it to cover up the holes. Then I'll show you what the pellet looks like. Can you see it? Yeah, that's what I use for my hard target. And people always say, well, why do you shoot pellets at hard things that you know that what's going to happen to them? I do that for to see how much power the gun has. If a pellet disintegrates, you know, it's got a little bit of power behind it to make that pellet come apart when it hits something. But like that 26 grain destroyer, because it's such a heavy pellet and there's so much force behind trying to get that down the barrel, you know, it cuts the velocity rate down. So I would factor in a guess that pellet's probably doing about 570, 75 feet per second out of this gun. But it's hitting with authority though. Okay, 14.3 Crossman, hollow point. The only downfall about these underlevers is the loading of them. Okay, y'all heard that ping. So now, let's pause it here and... Okay, I had to reposition the camera. Take the tape off. I got a UPS paper back here from the stickers, the labels. I'm just going to dump it onto here. And then there we got cardboard fiber from that shot. That is what's left of the Crossman 14.3 grain. Just fragments. That's all it is. Just fragments. Look out, anything under 10 yards. Okay, I'll pause it again and go back in the room now and finish the video. Okay, so that was my follow-up to yesterday's video. What a fantastic rifle. Like I said, I had a lot of fun shooting at a Zisco, Zisco BAM B3-U. I got the stock hanging here because I'm going to cut finger grooves into it. I shot that for 3 days straight, and I think I went through a 10.5 of pellets shooting that. And that was it's a fantastic gun to shoot, even though it's a cheap gun. That's the bottom end of the spectrum for price, and this is the high end of the spectrum for price. So that's weird. The lowest and cheapest rifle I own was just as much fun to shoot as this is. This is more precision and craftsmanship, and fit and finish is fantastic on it. Like I said, the bluing's great, fantastic. Whereas this one, you know, the fit and finish is what you would expect from a $97 rifle, brand new. It's shoddy and, you know, still shoots good though. It's accurate. If ever you're out looking to buy that ultimate air rifle, like I was, I had my heart set on a Air Arms TX200 or a Pro Sport. I really, really wanted the Pro Sport because it looks like an actual rifle. It's not. It's underlever, but the underlever is tucked away under the stock, and it's a flat piece of aluminum that you chunk out of the stock and then pull it down. Not like where it sticks out under the barrel, like say a Winchester Cooey Model 600 Junior 22 long rifle. That's what the underlevers remind me of, with the mag tube sticking out. They look like, it looks like a rifle too. But be nice if they figured out a way to make the barrel to back to here and your loading port to open back here like an actual bolt action, or they would, figure out some way to factor that in where you cock the rifle and you just open the bolt and not pull that back and set the trigger. That's all you really need to do, is because you've already cocked the spring. All you need to do next is cock the trigger, kind of like the Mauser K98 from Diana. I almost went with that rifle too, but it's a great rifle, great build quality. And they say it's a Mauser 98 replica. Well, yes and no. The stock might be, but it's an underlever that has a loading port like this does. The Mauser K98 was a bolt action. I've got one in the closet here in 308. Rebarreled. But yeah, that would be fantastic if they would figure something. They can do it in airsoft. They can make bolt action full throw bolt action airsoft guns, but they can't make them in these. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. That'd be fantastic if they come out with something like this in the pellet. Make it available, 177 through 30 caliber. Yes, 30 caliber is my ultimate pellet gun goal. I need a 30. I need one. I got 225s, 522s now, about 6 177s. But yeah, if you're ever, I guess these guns, you just go, unless you're rich, you just don't go out and buy them. Like this rifle here in the whole Weihrauch series isn't available through any other place in Canada, other than D&L Airguns in Langley, BC. They're the only store or online store shop that carries Weihrauch rifles. They didn't have Air Arms. AGS in Peterborough has the TX series. But the TX series is also, like for the walnut stock one I wanted, was $1,000. And for the Pro Sport, if I could still get one with a walnut stock